Hunnigan, what happened? The transmission got cut off. Salazar, how'd you...
We've jacked the line. We didn't want you telling everyone any unnecessary information.
Where's Ashley?
Ah, so she fell into one of our wonderful traps. We'll make sure we find her. Don't you worry about her. Oh yes, I let our miserable insects out for some exercise down in the sewer.
Thanks. That should keep me company, 'cause boredom kills me.
I look forward to our next encounter. In another life.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to NachitoPlayzzz, and we are continuing Resident Evil 4, and this is part 7 of the, no, yeah, part 7? Yeah, hold on, guys. Yeah, but we are on part 7 of the gameplay, and on the last episode, well, we made it. We finally made it to the castle. We started basically, I call it Act 2. Um, or Act 2 or Stage 2 of the gameplay. Uh, I was saying that in various games, I noticed that, especially once it started, like, getting in this kind of... Well, no. Actually, never mind. What am I talking about? So, every video game or whatever has like certain stages, right? And I'm not talking about levels, nor I'm not talking about levels or whatever. I'm talking about like when you first play the game, any game, you can name it. Obviously, it feels new, right? And the more you play, the more you kind of like understand the beginning and end. So, in the beginning of things, obviously the game is a little bit easier to play, right? But then eventually, that's when you start getting your, like, later on, you start getting your ass handed to you. Which, by the way, I have not, like, for some reason in this run, that, because trust me, I said it before and I said it again. I played this game plenty of times. But I was saying that I've been having my ass handed to me in this run, bro. But but what I was saying though, what I was saying is that in every game there's like, so when you first play the game, everything's just, when you're first playing it, everything's cool, whatever. But then once you start progressing, things are getting more intense or whatever, and you can tell by the scenery too. And then there's certain games too that, like, once and they like there's certain games that makes you feel that you're almost to the end of the story, right? So essentially, what I'm trying to say here is that, like, it's always three of them, and usually it's change of scenarios. There's always change of scenarios, and with change of the scenarios, uh, the challenges too. Like, it becomes more challenging, not challenges. The game becomes more challenging. I said something before that even so, this style of game, a lot of, okay, even when Resident Evil 4 first came out, just like just like how sometimes people complain about their changes of their favorite game or whatever. So, for an example, the whole debacle of Resident Evil 7, everybody was low key hating on it because it was a Resident Evil that it was a first person shooter. You know what I'm saying? And look how that turned out. Resident Evil 4 was the same thing, right? Like, it was the same thing. Like, oh, it went for third person shooter. That's gonna suck and da 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 da. Remember, we had the games of, like, Resident Evil where it was camera angles, right? y'all saw in Resident Evil 2, y'all saw in Resident Evil 0 through Code of Veronica, which check out the playlist. They're right there. Um, but what I mean is, but what I mean is that in every scenario, I call it like an act, right? And it's usually always three. So we're finally all that to say we're finally on the third one, on the second act, right? Which is the castle. Oh, in what I was saying. Oh wait. In what I was saying is that with Resident Evil here, the challenging part as because one of the things that other people hated about this game is that like it's not a survivor horror because now you're finding ammo everywhere. You could buy guns and upgrade them and all of that, right? And quite understandable. That critique is quite understandable, right? Because once they made this switch of how it went on, there's a fine line. It could go either the keep it G in the horror survivor aspect, or you can go full blown. You can go full blown Fast and the Furious, which Resident Evil 5 and 6. I'm looking at you guys. But there's a fine line. here, here, even though here in this game, it's kind of like okay, it's not really survivor horror. It has a scary moments or words of survivor horror aspect of it. Aspect of it meaning like I'm finding ammo everywhere. How are you not gonna like die or whatever? Like they're finding, you're finding ammo and health everywhere. Obviously, this is easy or whatever. Not here. Not in Resident Evil 4. Not in this game because what I noticed, again, another thing, I play this game plenty and plenty of times. But the few times that I played it, from no no special weapons, no unlockable weapons, whatever, just playing it like from start to finish again with like just with my regular inventory, whatever. I started noticing that it's like progress as you start progressing in the game. You're I started noticing that even though I'm getting more spaces because I could upgrade my inventory, right? But I'm not finding. I'm finding less ammo and health or yeah or health or whatever or herbs or whatever. That's something to be noticed because remember if you start playing my video, if you guys seen or been watching my walkthroughs, if you guys remember in episode 2 part 2, my whole case was sheesh 2 videos ago or last video I started with a nice abundance of a nice abundance of ammo and look at me. You know what I'm saying? But what I mean here is not only I'm not finding ammo, but the enemies are becoming more and more tankier, a little bit faster. They're becoming like all of a sudden they're more one shot one kills type. So it gets so that's where I see that a lot of people are kind of overseeing. And when you're inside in tight situations, because let's be honest, we're not gonna front. Every person that played this game, swear to God, every person that played this game and then replayed it, and they replay it and replay it. And, I mean, like me. Every person that had played it millions of times, those millions of times, they played it with their unlockable weapons. Like, and they're all one shot, one kill. You guys saw it with when we fought the Gigante on the routes, the two routes. One shot, one kill. You saw my Gigante fight when we first fought one. It was a little bit more challenging. Y'all saw that. And then I did one with Mendes, but I did it because that had a part two. And boy, that was fun. But the whole point is that once you, because you could in this game you could unlock a, it's called the Chicago typewriter, which is basically an infinite Tommy gun, machine gun. You get the hand cannon, which is a handgun or like a super duper crazy magnum, but it's called the hand cannon. The infinite rocket launcher basically is infinite ammo on rocket launcher, and all the bosses is one shot, one kill with the rocket launcher. So, what else? And then you get the laser. This like laser cannon, super OP, bro. Super OP. But the point is that once you like, obviously, once you, if you keep playing with those unlockable weapons, obviously the game is not gonna be challenging anymore. But I encourage you all to play it once more from the beginning. That's when you have to upgrade your weapon. You have to upgrade your. I mean, because here's the thing: you're also strategizing as you go. You know what I'm saying? You're also strategizing as you go. Notice why I switch around from weapon to weapon. Like like obviously my two primary weapons will be the TMP and the Punisher. My powerhouse is obviously my Riot shotgun. And the thing is that I much rather upgrade this one than the other one. That's another way too. If you now, because now in Resident Evil for the first time it introduced a bargaining system, right, or a purchase, whatever, right. So now you can buy weapons and sell them and whatever, right. But obviously in varied games, I don't know if you guys notice or you guys aren't that much gamers to notice, but I noticed that in various games in the beginning, it'll have like any game, any game that contains a merchant of some sort where you have to buy something. And this can go from Resident Evil and on, like from Resident Evil to Far Cry to uh, Dead Space, anything of that nature. I always see it. It never fails. You'll get a couple ammo slots, whatever, two weapons, like two cool. It's all like, all right, it's a weapon. It's right there. It's a shotty. It's a little tiny old school submachine gun. It's cool. But then they'll have one weapon that is like a oh, like this one is a double barrel super shotgun, but it costs this much. And obviously, you're gonna go through all this stuff. You're gonna start collecting gems, da, 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 in hopes to buy. In hopes. Oh no 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 no. Scratch that. Never mind. So you'll see that shotgun right on the inventory to buy. It'll say super shotgun whatever. You could buy that. You need a shotgun. So you're gonna buy the first one. But what's gonna happen? That shotgun is gonna stay there, right? That shotgun is gonna stay there. It's and the thing is that you kind of want it now type thing. So what it is that you get your shotgun, not the really cool one. You're gonna get that shotgun, and essentially, I'm not gonna upgrade it. I'm just gonna rock it out. It's my so what I strategically did. I used the old shotgun. My bad. I used the old shotgun just when if I'm getting like surrounded by zombies and they're like close proximities, I use the shotgun to create space. Like get back type thing. And then switch. Then that's when I switch back to my TMP and I start, quick, quick, quick. That's when I start switching between the two. You know what I'm saying? Obviously we know why we use a rifle for long range distance and whatever. But the whole point being is that I have to be strategic now because these guys are not only tankier, they're not, and I'm like limited. I have to also be aware of what I spend and everything because now, without upgrading that shotgun and me getting all the valuables and everything and me selling them and all of that, I'm gonna have a better chance and a faster chance to purchase that shotgun because essentially I just like, okay, how much I got? This much? Okay, I can weigh it out. I'll just sell my old shotgun and there it is. And I got some. And the thing is that you want to upgrade that weapon. Upgrade the weapon that you're going to be relying upon the most. So obviously it took me some time to understand that too. Because especially because I was always like a gun ho. Like just get in there, start shooting. but but anyways, so but yes, the whole moral of the story, what I'm saying here though, is that is that that's what I started noticing. Okay, uh-huh. So this is the part where things are getting more intense. I might be in the middle, in the climax. Well, not climax, like in the middle, in the and this is where we are. Okay, and also even within fans, if you guys see my gameplay, this is what I was exactly talking about. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so we finally made it to the castle. Great. After we encountered also. Uh, we encountered our first second act or whatever, like our second per se mini the mini boss, whatever, like a new mini boss, the first one, or second one, basically. So on the second, well, actually no. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's the third one because I'm not. I wasn't counting the two girls, the two chainsaws. Yeah, the two chainsaw girls, because there's the chainsaw. I forgot his name, but there's the chainsaw dude, and then eventually we get the chainsaw girls on the fight in the pit and everything. So yeah, no, she counts. She counts. She counts. And then now we got the new one, which is I call him Wolverine, but it's El Garrador. Yeah. So and the way we beat him is that because once we arrived to the castle, we had to go through this like stairs or whatever, where there was some catapults shooting at me, and what I had to do is roll up a cannon and blast open the doors, and that's what essentially we did, right? Cool, awesome, fire. We got in after taking a couple of enemies down. There was this hallway that was blocked by fire, and the only way to get in is by going to the dungeon or the prison, and there was a lever. But right next to the lever, the El Garrador. or the Mexican or the Mexican Wolverine. I was about to say them. Like, well, they are in Spain. Anyways, Wolverine was trapped down. So the whole thing is that once you get closer, he'll get loose and start attacking. Now, it started attacking you. After I gave some pro tips of how to defeat him. After we did that, we fought like a shit ton of more zombos, and we had to defend Ashley from an area of like, because I had to set her up to this like ledge on the top where she had to go through this crank because there was like a big lake or water inside of a castle, which is okay. Whatever. And anyway, there was a platforms underwater, and she had to like reel them up. And obviously, using my sniper, we defended her successful. We came here, and then we encountered Ramon Salazar, and he will be the final boss of Act 2. Just like how the final boss on the last video, or the video before that, it was the big beardy dude. That's him. That's it. And so yeah, so we met him, told us that we're infected. Oh yeah, we also saw Luis too. Luis. So he's out to get. Luis is actually out to get us some capsules because the eggs hatch in our system, the plagas. So he went out to get some capsules because apparently Luis was also infected, but he managed to take out the egg before it hatched, so he's all good. But oh boy, I don't know. The eggs hatched, so he's coughing up blood. Like he's showing symptoms of like, okay, this is about to get real. You know what I'm saying? So, oh boy is out to find us some capsules to at least stabilize it and not and like slow down the growth per se. So he's out and about. But yeah, so but Salazar introduced himself, and then obviously old girl got all freaked out because she's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be a zombie." And old girl ran down the hallway, but there was a trap set up. There was a trap set up. She landed on one of those walls that has like the double, like it like flips around, but it had this like it's some like a metal thing like start like wrapping her around tight to the wall or trapped her on the wall and whoop. So now we're out to find her and apparently we're about to fight some bugs. And yes we are. And they're freaking annoying. One thing though, I'll say that Resident Evil always has done well with their bugs. Like they always done well with their insects. Like how in how was it in Resident Evil Zero when we had to fight the centipede and we had to fight like spiders. I mean, spiders has always been a staple for Resident Evil. For the Resident Evil franchise, spiders has always been a staple. But these fuckers, man, it's like crickets or some shit. All right, so pro tip. You see, I'm gonna use all right, so pro tip. You see that? You know what it is. Alright, cool. Watch out, one kill. So, one thing. Well, okay. I'm speeding through it because I know the map and know the spots already. But what I do advise y'all to do is take your time in this part, or like kind of like, I don't want to say take your time, but like just be more cautious and look for that. Like if you like just aim, because they're usually noticeable. And that little music, that's just because they're active. They can be on the walls. They can be. But check it out. See? As shit. Holy crap, alright. Nice. Tanky as sheesh. Alright, so okay, got shotgun ready. Yep. And the cool part about these bugs, they do drop jewels too. Instead of, well, they'll drop money, but it's mostly jewels. Check it out. I just noticed this right now. I just noticed this. Usually I come in here because I'm like shotgun ready, because one of those bugs is gonna drop right there, like out of that hole. But I just noticed this. I don't think that's enough. Oh, fuck, pretty sure the developers were like, somebody's gonna pull that. Oh, no. And yeah, okay. Well, it looks like he was alive until just recently. Judging by the wound, it was quick death. Sheesh. Luis's memo. There are some parasites that have the ability to control their hosts. It's basic knowledge among biologists, but not much is known as to how the parasites do it. Studying these parasites specifically might reveal some clues to as how the powers of the plagas work, and perhaps provide more insight on the victims of the plagas, the ganados. Here's a list of some parasites that have the ability to manipulate behavioral patterns of their host. Uh, de- decro- Decrolium. Okay? Decrolium. Once the larva of this parasite migrates to the esophagus of to an ant's esophagus, it alters the behavior of the ant. When the temperature drops in the evening, the infected ant climbs to the top of the plant and chomps and clamps onto a leaf using its mandible. It says that it stays there immobile until the next morning, placing the ant where it's most vulnerable to be eaten by a browsing herbivore such as a sheep. Once one could conclude that the parasite is manipulating the host behavior to make its way onto a body of a definitive host. Okay, so this parasite they're talking about is just like adapts to the host. It's kind of scary. Galactosomum? Summum? Okay. The larvae of this parasite makes its home inside of the brain of a fish, such as a yellowtail and the parrot bass. Once infected, the fish makes their way up to the water surface, where they'll swim until eaten by seabirds. Once again, this particular behavior can only be explained by the parasite's desire to get in the bodies of the seabirds. Leucoridium. This is the parasite's sporocyst. Parasite sporocysts develop in the snail's tentacles. The sporocysts are vivid in color and pulsate continually, somewhat like a worm. Huh. But I'm trying to think of how the snail gets it. Man. The sporocyst, okay, like a worm, okay. Surprisingly, the infected snail makes its way to the top of the plant, where it's more visible to the eyed bird, therefore likely to be eaten. Okay. Alright, so it's the same thing. Once eaten by the bird, the parasite will complete the metamorphosis into an adult. Alright. We got a lamp. So one thing I never knew about this game, I found this out like very recent. So I never knew that this lamp could be added jewels by by the jewels of whatever the insects drop. You can add them on. I mean, not like freely, because you get like I guess you get red, green, and blue. Those are the only three colors you get, and you have to put one of each this lamp and it increases value obviously when you sell it to the merchant. I never knew that. This one and because the gems that the bugs drop, it's you'll get a lot of those. I'm telling you. But again, I didn't know that you can combine them. That was crazy. Because after that, I started like, oh wait, what else? What else? Right? Like, so like I was saying on the beginning, right? About how I had to have Claire, or not Claire, Ashley on the little ledger thing that I was talking about with the crank to lift up some platforms from this like indoor pond or whatever. Like, yeah. Who in their right mind said, let's have that? And also this. Like, what? I guess we could say it's a safety protocol. Like, it's a safety protocol device thing. Like let's say you have intruders, so you hit the red button and all this starts happening. I guess we could say that, but bro, come on. It is a castle. It is a castle, but it's just funny though. Quick about it though. Bro, what an idiot. He stayed. Yes, yes. Out of here. Out of here. Okay. Yes. So the plan was, I mean, I'd done it a couple times, but what the hell? He didn't get it this time. But obviously throw the flash, get down. Throw the flash, get down here. Probably I would have done a grenade. Yeah, I mean, just to get this guy out. To get the pen. Should I do that right now? I'll do it. I'll do it at some.
What? Welcome.
What you got?
Got some rare things on. What are you buying? What are you buying? Not enough cash, stranger. What are you buying? What are you selling? Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Is that all? Is that all? Thank you. Ah. Thank you. What are you buying? What are you buying? Is that all? Thank you.
Firepower.
Come back anytime.
Castellano or Castilian memo. For the many years the Salazar family has served as the Castellans, I don't know, of the castle. However, not everything is bright. For my ancestry has a dark past. Long ago, it was a religious group that had deep roots in this region called Los Iluminados. Unjustly, however, the first owner of the castle took away their rights and powers. Right. As a follower of this religion, as the eighth owner or king, whatever, I felt that it was my duty as well as my responsibility to atone for that sin. I knew the best way to atone for the sin was to give power back to those who we once took it away. the Illuminados. They just should have kept Los. Like, from Los Illuminados. That's it. I suspected it took a little time, but we were able to rejuvenate the once sealed Las Plazas. With this success, I was one step closer to the revival of Los Illuminados. Wait, so they existed already? Huh. The reason why I released La Plagas from deep under the castle and gave them to Lord Sadler was not only to pray for the sins of my ancestors, but I felt certain that the Lord will make better use of this power to help save the world. To save those that have sinned with the power of the Plagas, of Las Plagas, and to cleanse their souls, creating a world without sinners, the way it was meant to be. Once cleansed, they will become one of many ganados, where they will find their reason to live. And after the Lord has succeeded in creating the world in which he has envisioned, then the sins of my Salazar family will be atoned. Alright, bro. Whatever you say. Yes, I am here. Oh, shit. Ah. Oh shit, what the hell? Oh, what? Oh no, 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 no. get him before. Before he goes downstairs and gets on that big ass machine gun. Out of here with that. Take the high ground. Key. Sorry, I didn't mean to like skip the small cutscene. My bad. Where we do the puzzle. It's a puzzle, our first puzzle of the castle. Here. The sacrifice of 6 lives shall make way to the true path. Alright, so we're gonna flip these over. So we'll see 6 people.
What a pleasant surprise. But I'm afraid it's Ashley we need. Not you, Mr. Kennedy.
If you don't need me, then get off my back, old man.
Did you say old man, Mr. Kennedy? It might come as a surprise, but I'm only 20 years old.
So you're just like all the others? A puppet of the parasites?
Surely you don't think I'm the same as those diminutive ganados. The parasites, las plagas, are slaves to my will. I have absolute control.
Well, I really don't give a damn. Rain or shine, you're going down.
Get rid of our American friend.
Allí están.
Oh, fuck. Let me heal. Let me heal. Has to be one. I can't wait to play the remake. But you guys, bro, this is so fun. Just to see the comparison of like right here. Oh, we got so yeah, hell yeah. Just to see the comparison of like what I'm going, like what we're going through now to. Oh look. Yeah, just to see the comparison between like how this played out and see how that. I want to see if this part of the game is